What's going on YouTube? Jamil here, and today we're going to talk about how you can overcome bad deals, bad investments, bad situations, bad partnerships, bad all of it when we're talking about real estate. Now, understand this. I've been in the game for over 20 years, so I've had my share of mistakes, and I'm going to share with you today the great pivot. All right, guys, so what do I mean when I say the great pivot? Well, here's the reality. No business owner, especially the ones in real estate, are ever gonna get out unscathed. We are gonna run into problems. You're gonna run into bad deals, bad partnerships, bad opportunities, bad people, bad materials, bad all of it, especially bad timing. Now, the reality is if you're gonna be a real estate investor for the long term, there's no way that you're gonna get away without having this happen to you at least sometime. Now, when things turn and you get into a bad deal, bad partnership, bad property, bad materials, bad timing, whatever that may be, you have to be able to pivot out of that so that your career in real estate isn't over. You see, one of the reasons, in fact, the greatest reason why I've ever seen somebody get involved in real estate and then get out of real estate is because of a bad deal. Something happens, something goes wrong, they touch the burner on the stove and they're like, because it hurts. When you make a mistake, you lose money, especially when things go wrong. It can hurt your confidence. It can hurt people's confidence in you. You might feel like you're actually the imposter that your brain was telling you you were, or your friends and family start giving you a hard time. There's a number of different things that can pile up on you, especially when things go wrong. So you have to be able to figure out how to overcome. And so today we're going to talk about 5 ways that you can pivot out of bad deals. So let's start with the first one, right? Sitting fix and flips. Now, I'm going to show you how to turn trash into cash. In 2022, we were shooting second season of Triple Digit Flip. Now, the second half of the second season is when things got really, really interesting. It was July of 2022 and rates shot through the roof. Inflation was out of control. We were overpaying on labor. We were overpaying on materials. We overpaid for all of the properties that we were flipping, and then rates skyrocketed, which had buyers scrambling and running for the hills. And now here we are sitting with these flips in our inventory, and they have high interest loans on them, hard money loans. And we were faced with a situation. We had to make a decision. What do we do? Do we hold on to these flips and wait some time, or do we fire sell? Now, the reality is I was sitting in those deals with 3 other partners, and it wasn't just me who got to make the decision. Although my decision at the time was to fire sell, we ultimately had one person, my sister, who said, let's hold. 3 other partners who said, no, we should sell. And guess who lost? My sister. Well, we did fire sell, and we ended up losing $500,000. 500 grand, $500,000 fire selling all of those houses. Now here's the part that's a real kick in the balls. 7 months after, when things started to stabilize, the real estate market started to kind of come back again, all of the things, the properties would have sold for more money if we had just held. If we had made it through that hard time, if we had made it through those struggles, if we had made it through the fear, the uncertainty, the scarcity, the doubt, all of that, if we had just held. If we had done what my sister had said in the first place, we would not have lost any money. In fact, we would have gotten out of all those deals either breaking even or slightly profitable. Instead, we fire sold and we lost $500K. Now, maybe you're thinking, well, Jamil, how do you hold it? If you're in a high interest hard money loan, how do you hold a property so that you can debt service that property? Well, there is a solution. What you could do, and what I just recently did with one of my flips that was sitting on the market that wasn't selling, here's the address for you to check it out. It's 5725 West Osborne. You'll see that that was a house that I had taken and I had actually flipped it. I did a renovation and I put it on the market. What you'll also see is about 4 months into the listing, I canceled the listing. And guess what I did? I converted it into a co-living house. Now, I didn't go spend a bunch of money adding bedrooms and bathrooms. No, I rented it as a co-living as it sat. So I took the 3-bed, 2-bath and I rented it out room by room. And I'm making right now roughly $3,200 a month gross on that property. My mortgage is $1,700. So I'm cash flowing on my fix and flip that didn't sell. I'm actually making money on this thing. And so now I get to make the decision. Do I just keep this thing as a co-living home, or do I wait until the market improves and then just sell it? I don't have to make that decision right now because it's making me money. So this just goes to show that if you have a fix and flip that's just sitting on the market, it doesn't matter if it's in a blue collar neighborhood and it doesn't matter if it's in a luxury neighborhood. There are opportunities for you to rent by the room, do co-living in your working working class neighborhoods, and you can even do co-living in your higher end neighborhoods. You can do co-living in age restricted neighborhoods where you have some type of Golden Girls type situation and scenario in a home where you have multiple elderly people living in a house. The reality is you just have to get creative. You got to think, what would people in this specific area or demographic really want more of? And then give it to them. So don't go and fire sell your fix and flips right now, especially you wholesalers that are working with buyers right now who have houses sitting on the market. It's time for you to make some advisements to tell them that, hey, you know, you could rent this thing out by the room and still cash flow while you're waiting for the market to rebound. And I could sell you some incredible properties right now that would help you store some inventory for when the market does start to increase. Because believe me, sooner or later, Powell's going to be gone. And as soon as Powell's out of the Fed, we will get reductions in interest rates. And you know, and I know what's going to happen when we reduce rates. The market's going to ignite on fire again. There's no way for it not to. The amount of pent up buyer demand that's sitting with this really slow market right now, it can't hold much longer. The berm is gonna break. The dam will overturn. The water will flow in and the buyers will come back. And so the market will have to heat up again. We're just waiting until that time. Cool. Underperforming long-term rentals. Now, what do I call an underperforming long-term rental? I call it anything that's cash flowing $500 a month or less. Reality is, guys, is if you're only making $500 a month right now on your long-term rental, all you need is one thing to go wrong. One major item. AC goes out. Your entire profit for the entire year is gone. You have some type of emergency situation in the kitchen. And one of my tenants had a crock pot that exploded while they were cooking, and it got stuff all over the ceiling and all over the walls, and we had to repaint, we had to scrape the ceiling. That cost us thousands of dollars. Maybe you have a tenant who doesn't pay, and now you got to evict them, thousands of dollars. What I'm saying is property management isn't for the weak. And if you're only making $500 or less a month on a house, you need one thing to go wrong. One thing. And your profit is gone. So if you're making $500 or less on your long-term rental right now, I promise you it's underperforming. So what can you do? Convert it to co-living, turkey. Yes, you don't have to add extra beds. You don't have to add extra baths. You can still rent the houses out by the room. So get on it. There's a massive opportunity there for you. And if you'd like to really optimize it, I can show you how to do that. There'll be more information on working with me a little bit closer in the description, but you can absolutely take your long-term rental right now that's underperforming and optimize that for co-living. And now you've turned your single family underperforming long-term rental into a multi-family overperforming single family rental, which is one of the most beautiful cash flow situations you can be in. Let's see what's next. Underperforming short-term rentals. Now, we know what happened. You saw it. Airbnb got flooded. You had every real estate guru out there talking about short-term rentals, except for me. But every other real estate guru out there talking about short-term rentals, short-term rental arbitrage. They were telling you to go rent this condo over here and then turn it into a short-term rental. Oh my God, the amount of arbitrage, the amount of malarkey that I saw go down in the short-term rental space is probably the reason why the short-term rental space is experiencing what it's experiencing right now, which is a massive drop in demand. Now, I get into arguments all the time with the short-term rental gurus who are saying,
Jamil, it's not a lack of demand.
what is it then?
Oh, it's all these sloppy listings.
Okay, well, is there demand for that sloppy listing? No. That's a lack of demand, So that's what I'm saying. The problem is there's no demand. And so now is the time for us to change that. If there's no demand in short-term rentals, why are you keeping that thing on Airbnb? Why is it sitting on VRBO right now? Why aren't you making a pivot? You can convert that short-term rental into a well-functioning, well-oiled, money-making machine through co-living. So again, yes, reach out to me and I can teach you how to convert your short-term rental into a long-term co-living rental that'll give you incredible cash flows. So again, short-term rentals not helping. Get rid of it, turn it into co-living. Next, office and commercial. Bet you didn't think of that one, did you? The office and commercial real estate market right now is what does that mean? It's at the bottom, guys. It's like basement. You're seeing in office and commercial right now the same thing that happened in residential in 2010, the bottom. Let me tell you where I made a tremendous amount of my money. It was from buying property in 2010, buying property at pennies on the dollar, holding and waiting and cash flowing until the market picked up again. Everything that goes up goes down. Everything that goes down goes up. So if commercial is at the bottom right now, where does it have to go? And guess what? Major cities are approving large-scale rezones and redevelopments to change office and commercial into co-living developments to help solve the housing crisis. If you've got a commercial building right now that you're holding onto and you're not doing anything with it, go talk to your city planner. Convert it into a co-living development. There's a huge opportunity there. And don't think that this isn't a real thing, because billions of dollars of investment have flown into the co-living space right now to do just that exact thing. And it's people like BlackRock, Invitation Homes, who are doing these developments. You can do the same thing. There are such incredible deals out there. And like I said, they're priced so far below replacement value. And please don't do this, but straight up, if you bought one of these commercial buildings and then some way, somehow it just lit on fire the day after you closed, your insurance check would be more money than what you paid for the building. What does that tell you? That there's value there, massive value there. When you can buy something below replacement, ask any real estate investor out there, they'll tell you it's a massive opportunity. Office, commercial, massive opportunity. This one is the one that makes me shiver. This is the one that makes me want to go and raise millions of dollars and buy up all the depressed office and commercial out there right now and be a part of the solution of this housing crisis that we've been seeing for the last near decade. All right, last thing here, guys, vacant land. There are so many incredible pieces of vacant land just sitting out there because builders stopped building when the rates got super high. Everybody kind of slowed down. Here's the beautiful thing about owning vacant land. First, it's cheap. Cheap. Second, a lot of lenders will actually give you 100% of construction cost if you own the land outright. Now, what if you buy this land super cheap? Will they give you the money to build? Yeah. I just did that right now. In Phoenix, Arizona, I've got a lot on 21st Street in South Phoenix, and I'll be doing more videos of this build as we move along. But this piece of land, I was trying to sell this for months. I had it on the MLS, nobody wanted to buy it. I was even willing to sell this thing for less than I had paid for it. And then it dawned on me, what am I doing? Why am I in such a desperate state to sell this lot? Why don't I see if I can build a co-living home on it? And then I did. I went to the city and I asked, hey, could I be approved for a 6-bed, 6-bath co-living home here? And they said, well, of course, just submit. And submit I did. I went to my hard money lender and I said, I have this land, it's paid off. Would you give me 100% financing if I wanted to build this 6-bed, 6-bath co-living product on there? And they said, yes. So now I am building a brand new co-living development on a piece of land that I've owned outright for years with no money out of my pocket. And guess what the best part is? As soon as I'm done the project, I'll have increased the value of it so much that I'll be able to refinance it and I'll get all of the money that I had in the land and an additional 10%. Again, guys, I'm gonna get paid to own a brand new building that's gonna cash flow like $4,000 a month. Do you understand the opportunity that's available to you right now? And it's literally by making the pivot. See, when things go wrong, it gives us an opportunity to see how we can make them go right. See your obstacles as opportunities and you will win. And that's what we gotta do today. So, any of your buyers, any of you buy and hold investors, any of you commercial investors who are sitting on offices that are just vacant right now, the great pivot is waiting for you to take it. I'm Jamil Damji, and if you like this video, hit the like button, subscribe to my channel, because apparently half of you who watch this haven't subscribed. So do me a favor and subscribe, because obviously I'm giving you some good value because you keep coming back. And last but not least, there is a thing in the description over there so you can have an opportunity to work closer with me and my team on how co-living can make you financially free. I'll see you guys in the next one.